2.3a, solving problems involving credit. I call this 2.3a because tomorrow we're going to be still solving problems involving credit, but I'm just going to give you more examples. There are tons of examples in this next section, and I think that that can be really helpful for you guys just to see a lot done, so that when you're practicing the textbook questions on your own, you are able to have a lot of examples to draw from. Let's launch into some vocabulary pieces. So, a line of credit. This is something that is super helpful. Speaking from personal experience, I have a line of credit. And what is it? It is a pre-approved loan that offers immediate access up to a predefined limit with a monthly payment based on accumulated interest. Lines of credit generally have lower interest rates than credit cards. Just from experience personally, my line of credit hovers around between 6 and 7%, whereas credit cards are 19.99 or even higher than that. Another important thing that we want to talk about is the Bank of Canada prime rate. Now this is a value set by Canada's central bank which other financial institutions like banks or credit unions use to set their interest rate. So currently we are at 0.5%. This is the value that the textbook gives. I did a little research and it is still true as of right now. 0.5%. Now just remember, as a decimal, this is 0.005, not 0.05, because that's 5%, or not 0.5. That would be 50%. Just to give you a sense, England's bank has the same prime rate as us, but the American banks actually have half, so it's 0.25%. Just as a little bit of a reference. So let's move on to this first example here, solving a credit problem that involves overall cost and number of payments. Example 1. Meryl and Kyle are buying furniture that is worth $1,150 on credit. They can make monthly payments of $85 and have 2 credit options. Which option should they choose? Explain. So option A, we're going to be focusing it on it right there. Option A, the furniture store credit card, which is offering a $100 rebate off the purchase price and an interest rate of 18.9% compounded daily. You're going to see that a lot. Remember, when we're investing, it's often like compounded quarterly or compounded monthly or compounded semi-annually or even annually. Remember, when it's loans, when they're trying to make money off of us, they want to make as much as possible, so it must be compounded daily. Or option B, which we'll focus on right here, a new bank credit card, which has an interest rate which is lower, which is 17.7% compounded daily, but has no interest for the first year. So, is it better to take the $100 rebate with a higher interest rate, or is it better to take no interest and and a lower interest rate. So let's check it out. So for option A, the furniture in the furniture store credit card, which is offering a $100 rebate. So that means that our loan is actually going to be $1,500, not 1,100. Sorry, 1,050, not 1,150, because we get that amount off. The payment which is going away from us is $85. Okay. The future value we hope to achieve is 0. Payments per year, so that's attached with our payments here, so we can make 12 payments per year, and the compounding periods per year for the interest, 365. The interest rate here is going to be 18.9, and we want to solve for n. So that way we can see how much interest we're going to pay over the entirety of the loan. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say 18.9. Money is coming to us when we're being loaned it. So the present value is 1,050. Our payment is 85. Our future value is going to be 0 because we're going to pay it all off. And this is what our payments per year is going to be 12, and compounding periods per year is going to be 365. So when I solve for number of compounding periods, I get 13.8585. So 14, essentially it's going to take 14 months. So we're going to go back in here and we're going to quit. And I'm going to use the sum int option here. And I'm going to say 1, not 2, 1, comma 14. Close bracket, enter. So I have interest over 14 months of $128.06 that's paid. So when I use my sum int, remember I'm going from the first one to the last one, okay? So oh, not 15, it should be 14. Some people on the test, what they were doing is they're going from 4 till not the final one. You want to go from the first one to the last one. When you want to find out how much interest you're paying over the entirety of the loan. So it's going to be negative 128.06. So then the total here, total for option A with paying is going to be 1,050 plus the interest that we pay, 128.06, for a total of 1,178.06. So for option B, we have a new bank card which has an interest rate of 17.7% compounded daily, but has no interest for the first year. Woo! No interest for year 1. So we can make 12 payments of 85. So 12 times 85 is 1,020. So that means in the first year we can pay 1,020 and not get charged interest for it. So the amount that we need to put on the credit card actually will be the full amount of the loan minus the amount that we can pay off in 1 year. So essentially all that's going to be collecting interest after that first year is going to be $130. So when we fill this in, we're saying, yeah, we got a 17.7% interest rate. The present value that we're going to have to collect interest on, because we don't need to use the TVM solver if there's no interest, right? The TVM solver only comes into play when interest is being collected. So it's going to be $130. The PMT is going to be 85, which is the same. The future value is going to be 0. The compounding periods per year is going to be 365, and the payments per year are going to be 12. So we want to solve for this to see how many months it's going to take for us to pay off the 130. So I'm not going to change a whole bunch in my I'm not going to change a whole bunch of my TVM solver here. I'm just going to change the interest rate, 17.7, the present value, which is 130, but then everything else stays the same. I'm going to solve for my n here. So it's going to be 1.5585. 1.5585. So that means it's going to be paid off in 2 months. Let's see how much interest is being accumulated in that time. So sum int 1, 2, which feels kind of silly, but that's the way it is. So we're going to quit that. We're going to go back into our finance. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Do that. 1, 2, close bracket. So the only interest that we're going to be charged is going to be $2.63. So, oh, then that's negative. So the amount that you actually have to pay for this, so the total paid for option B, is going to be the amount of the furniture, the total amount, so $1,150 plus $2.63. So in total we would pay with option B $1,152.63. When compared to option A, even though we get a $100 rebate, we still collect interest throughout the year. So it's still cheaper actually to take that credit card that is interest free for the first year.